We had the National Cake Championships recently, where the whole nation gathered round an oven and waited with bated breath to see who made the best cake.
Well, especially it wasn't even cake. In the end, there was a windmill and a letterbox.
Made of cake.
Ish. Like when I see some cake, I say, oh, I left some cake. But with that one, you wouldn't even have known where to start slicing. So and they put all the hours in and lovely and what have you, but was not for consumption.
Don't take this the wrong way, but are you a bit of a cake fascist?
Well, I like my cake edible and manageable, yes.
That is not a cake! No, I don't watch it because nothing happens. That's the whole point. That's why people like it, because nothing happens. Someone bakes a cake. If I had a choice between watching Bake Off and watching the last hour of a light bulb, I'd choose the light bulb. But, you know, when you're just watching a light bulb just flickering before it just goes... Or if I want to entertain myself, I just rub my eyes like that. And then go into a dark room and see all the stars. And oh, this is great. I see stars and everything. So I don't have a problem with it, but I'm not a baker. I did an old lady one.
Bake Off is just about an excuse to eat cake. What is not to get?
Yeah, but
why
that's
wouldn't
the
you
thing.
watch it?
It's only on telly. You can't eat it.
Yeah, because then you make it. You go out, you then make yourself
yeah, but you're
a cake.
not. You're watching telly.
Yeah. I go out, I make the cake. Well, not that cake. I don't make the windmill and whatever.
So, which cakes have you made this year? What did you go with?
This week, for the final, me and my husband made a chocolate banana loaf.
A chocolate banana loaf?
Yeah. It makes you feel better because it's got fruit in, so you think you're being healthy, but really it's just chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake with a banana next to it, is it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you drink?
No.
No. That's it. You can only really get excited about cake, I think, if you don't drink.
Maybe they should do drink off. Maybe they should just have people making drinks, that's a lovely gin and tonic. Yeah, lovely. Because you could really play along at home with that.
Yeah. You have to keep Mary Berry on. Just faced by the end of it.
She was loving the Baileys.
She likes a drink, I've heard.
And it would also make sense why it always... Mary would like you to, as if she couldn't speak herself. She has got her mother to speak for her, doesn't she? And Mary would like... And she stands right there, so... And she must have told them in the first place what she would like. I mean, that bit of the show makes absolutely no sense.
What bit?
Well,
I don't watch it, so...
Well, essentially what it is essentially reenactment of Victorian London, where there is the paupers in the cellar and the high and mighty, they're being served cake in that instance.
Did you watch Downton Abbey by mistake? John, have you been watching Bake Off?
I just don't get it. I just take it too seriously.
What do you mean take it too seriously? You take cooking very seriously.
I take life seriously. Cake is just cake, though, isn't it? Paul Hollywood
It's not just
talks
cake,
about
though.
it like, oh, that could have done with just 17.4 seconds longer in the oven now. You're talking out your arse, man.
Ramesh, do you watch Bake Off?
I love Bake Off. I think it's the best thing on TV. I absolutely love it. I went on Extra Slice, like the offshoot show. I was a guest on there talking about Bake Off. I made vegan brownies because I am one.
Of course, Henry, you've got Dancing with the Stars in America.
In America, yes.
Would you ever consider going on?
I enjoy watching it. I will not. I can't do it.
That's a shame. I think because you used to have incredible dance moves back in the day.
I did, and I want to keep them a great memory.
You would never be allowed on the British version because if anyone's ever been out dancing before, they say, oh, no, that's unfair. They know what they're doing. So that seems to be the main criticism of most candidates.
There has been a huge controversy this year because there's a lady on the show called Pixie Lott, who's very good, but she's done 8 years dance training at an elite academy, so she was always going to be quite good. She's favourite at the moment. She's 3-1 to win, as is Frankie Bridge, off of the Saturdays.
You know the Saturdays?
I actually met one of the Saturday.
Really?
Which one did you meet?
Beautiful one.
Oh. Well, I know which one it wasn't,
That's,
but... Henning, do you watch the show?
Not regularly, but I wonder, a lot of them professional dancers, not the ones on the program, but there's loads of them that have gone to the dancing schools or whatever they might be called, and
Dancing school, yeah.
yeah, dancing school, and they've put themselves through everything because of the dancing, and then they see all of a sudden any old Herbert having a go on Strictly Come Dancing. They must be feeling like most stand-ups feel when they turn the telly on and there is Paddy McGuinness.
Rebecca, when are you doing Strictly? Have you done Strictly or are you doing it?
No, never done it. I'll do it if you'll do it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to wait till after the career-defining event. I might have to go in the jungle first to win back public support.
Jimmy, you'd be lucky to get on the coach trip.
Do you watch the show?
Yeah, I love Top Gear.
So, well, tell us what happened. So,
They went out to Argentina, and the number plate was obviously offensive to the Falklands War, and then protesters started, and they were going to be killed, apparently.
I should say that Clarkson has tweeted this week the number plate was a coincidence. When it was pointed out to us, we changed it.
I mean, he's poor Jeremy Clarkson's had a bloody week of it, to be honest, because he got to the airport and he was on flight 8008, and that spelt boob, and he was very embarrassed about that. And he was in seat number 69, he was like, oh, bloody hell, he didn't have to. And he got to his hotel room and he was in room number I Hate Argies, and he didn't know anything about that either. He's just so unlucky, that man.
Then the car was obviously left in Argentina, and they found another licence plate in the boot of the car, which was this.
I reckon what happened is that they were driving down the street, a load of Argentinians were chasing them with rocks and stuff, trying to kill them and whatever, and then a BBC producer came out and said, look, we're sorry, we didn't realise the number plates were that offensive, and they just went, what number plates? We're just trying to kill the prick. No, I just think it's the BBC's attempt to get him slaughtered. I reckon next they'll send him to Syria with a number plate that says 1S are gay laws.
When you Google Jeremy Clarkson, it genuinely says, people also searched for Jeremy Kyle and Piers Morgan. I think that says everything you need to know about him.
No, but I think the thing about him is you have to say, you have to admire how good he is at his job. Because he can say virtually anything and they can't sack him. That's how good he is.
Well, can I ask a question? How are the ratings?
Amazing.
Really?
I think it's the #1 show in the world.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So
Basically,
he's going to say whatever he wants.
He could have a on Mary Berry's cake tin. And they go, oh, sorry, I didn't realise. I thought it was I didn't realise, sorry. Oh, God, what am I like? You'd think, though, one thing I think about Clarkson, he's got two big loves in his life, fags and petrol. If only we could find a way.
Jeremy Clarkson, of course, he looks a lot older than he is. Incredibly, he's gone from 0 to 60 in 45 years. What poll do you think he might have appeared on?
Ugliest men in the world you wouldn't shag even if they were left on a desert island with you.
I was just going to say that.
Can you imagine him in bed?
I'd suck him off. Somebody you'd most like to hit with a cricket bat. I say cricket bat, that's my weapon of choice. Pick your own weapon, isn't it? Obviously, really.
I think it might be just something with... Jeremy Clarkson is known... He's got a very long Biffin's Bridge, hasn't he? Beg your pardon? What's that? Biffin's Bridge. Stand up.
Right.
All right, because you've got quite a long one. You have your trousers up.
I've got quite a long one. Thanks, Sean.
He's just pulled his trousers
Yeah.
up.
Top of your trousers.
Yeah.
Right, then get your other finger and go down. Like that. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh.
Keep going, keep going. That's back there, that's your Biffin's Bridge. Now, take your hand away. That's how long your Biffin's Bridge is.
Why is it called a Biffin's Bridge?
It's not your Biffin's Bridge.
Ladies. That was Victoria Aitken with her attempt at a rap career to illustrate posh people. So, Jeremy Clarkson and posh people, what poll do you think they might have appeared on?
Is it people who know how to use a bidet? No, my mum, a couple of years ago, my mum got a new bathroom in and she said to me, Dad, I've just paid £100 extra for one of them things that you wash your bottom with. And he said, you paid £100 for a flannel. Is it people you never get tired of kicking?
The thing about posh people, I hate it when they laugh. Horribly laugh.
Do an imitation.
Ha 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 ha.
Do common people laughing then?
Good, I'll try and make you laugh.
Is it people that look or sound like Camilla Parker Bowles? He looks a bit like Camilla, doesn't he? He's got that sort of robustness.
No, I think...
I find her attractive.
Camilla Parker Bowles, you find her attractive in what way?
I'm thinking of Roddle.
She's nice, actually.
Have you met her?
Yes, I have. I met Prince Charles once, and he asked me, what does one do? And I explained the show, and he said, what sort of people do you have on the show? And I said, oh, you know, the husband, the wife, and the mistress.
Let's have a look at the next person. So, posh people, Jeremy Clarkson and Manchester United. What poll might they have appeared on?
Man United players are always getting done for speeding.
Yeah.
Clarkson's always going very fast. Unfortunately, not in the same direction forever. They tend to come back.
Actually, talking of Man United players and speeding, do you remember when David Beckham got done for speeding? He came out with the greatest excuse I've ever heard. He said, they asked him why he was speeding, and he said, I was being followed by a photographer. No, Dave, they're called speed cameras.
Is it to do with phone companies?
What do you mean by phone companies?
Well, Jeremy Clarkson does something for BT, and Man United do Vodafone.
And
not a goddamn clue about the last one.
And that is why you're wrong.
Elton John. There's nothing to go where to go with him, is there?
We could do a couple of bumming jokes, I suppose.
For God's sake.
Cut it out. I'm not doing it. That's why I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
His level of humour is so desperate.
He wasn't on a show where they eat kangaroo balls.
He actually, to be fair to Patrick, what he said was, I said, Elton, where's the comedy in Elton? And he said, we could do that. He didn't say he was going to, or he would like to. He didn't get any pleasure. You wouldn't get any pleasure out of that, would you?
I'm saying fuck all.
Do you know what? People actually have the gall to comment about my chat show. Have a look at this, would you?
Yeah, but luckily we edit this.
93% of people who what are overweight?
Watch Trisha.
So how long have you been watching the show?
Oh, I'll tell you, I'm a massive... I'll tell you, I do every day, me. That's my favourite. Pregnant with twins, only shared my brother's towel. That was my favourite.
65% of circus performers are what?
I think 65% of circus performers are covered in pie. And wearing the wrong shoes. I went to a circus in East London and about 2 years ago. It's quite funny. And one of the clowns forgot to turn his mobile off. And it went off. It took him ages to find it because they've got those massive pockets. He reached around. And the thing is, the tune on his mobile was... And he's reaching out and he got his mobile phone, switched it off. And the amazing thing was the way the other clowns reacted. They went mental at him. Right? They started pouring water down his trousers. They hit him with a ladder. They really overreacted. One of them put a barrel over him and pushed him over. Total overreaction.
65% of circus performers are not to be trusted.
Did something bad happen to you at circus once?
Yeah, and I don't want to talk about it.
I've got a little puppet. Would you tell him?
You look more like a puppet, don't you? You look a bit like a ventriloquist dummy, don't you?
It's the hair, really, that gives it away. It's so neat and tidy, it's unnatural.
So 65% of circus performers are my hair looks like a dummy's. That's your guess.
Is it animals?
Oh, that's
not as a joke.
That is a good suggestion. I'm sorry, I'm giving you credit there.
Sister!
That is a good suggestion.
Whose diary would you most like to read? Who got the most votes?
George Bush's would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Invaded Iraq, it was nice. Had an ice cream, it was nice.
Jesus's would be good, because he died on the Friday, he rose on the Sunday, right? But it was like, because it was Easter, it was a bank holiday weekend. Now, I've had some bank holiday weekends where I've woke up in a cave, and I've not claimed to be, anything happened. I'm just...
It would be great to get hold of it the week before the Last Supper, just see if he had his suspicions, you know. Tuesday, went fishing. Wednesday, made a blind man see. Took Mary up the Casbah. Judas throwing his money about. Yeah.
I'd like to read the White Lion's diary in Siegfried and Roy. Got up, ate a nutter.
Which one got eaten?
Eh?
Was it Siegfried or Roy?
But he didn't get eaten, did he? He got bit.
When it happened, the majority of people in the world went...
I know one bloke who went... Ah!
Who would be the best guest on Trisha?
Who's the fattest?
What happens on Trisha?
You've never seen the show?
To be fair,
I've seen a bit of it, but I was cycling past a shop at the time. It was just gone.
It's a chat show where people talk about their problems, and while we're at it,
Yeah.
what is it that you do?
I can't believe there's a row and Janet isn't involved.
I think where you go wrong with Trisha is...
Sorry.
When it comes on, you put, like, across the bottom what the programme's all about. Now, if it's not my daughter wants to be a stripper, it gets flicked off.
Who would be the best guest on Trisha? What do you think, Sean?
Charlotte Church.
Oh.
Why is that?
Just read the papers, my friend. It's all there.
So you've gone for Charlotte Church?
Yeah.
OK.
Yep.
Who are you going to go for?
Jesus.
Well,
I never knew my father.
So the question is, 23% of parents think their child has an extraordinary talent.
An extraordinary talent. I don't know, what is an extraordinary
Well,
talent?
they think they're a fabulous singer, fabulous dancer, just talented.
2 of my kids can fly. And the other one can't.
The other one, it turns out.
Yeah.
That
So
went
I don't
badly.
let the other 2 fly. I say, you'll just upset the other one. whatever its name is. When he's out there, I go, go on, fly. He's coming back in. So, yes, if you call that extraordinary, then, yeah, guilty as charged.
Jodie, what do you think?
I think so. I think, all parents love and adore their children.
Mine are only 5 months old, so don't really... One time I went to change a nappy and she sneezed and everywhere. That was fun. And he went... It was amazing. I went, oh, that was extraordinary.
Just remember what my other kid can do. The one who can't fly, though, can do something quite extraordinary.
What can he do, Sean?
He can walk on one hand, like that, on his fingers, like in cartoons. And I tell him, don't do that when the other 2 are in. But that's it. Can't read or write, either of them.
23% of parents think their child has an extraordinary talent, so you're going to go for true or false? Sean?
True, yeah, let's go true.
Yeah.
OK, you're going true. What are you going to go for?
What do you
I
reckon?
think false.
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 Yeah, we'll go false then.
False.
You go false. I can tell you the answer is false. In fact, 42% of parents think their child has an extraordinary talent. I tell you who I think was a talented child. Do you remember little Michael Jackson from the Jackson 5? He was incredible, wasn't he? Whatever happened to him? Oh, right, OK. Did he? And then 40 million albums. And then? He did what? Yeah, everyone likes children. Oh, I see. But I could go and see him live? All right. Well, I better just kick on then. Over to Jason's team. What do you like the look of?
Let's go with the theatre.
Of course, our first love. OK, 51% of theatre-goers say what has ruined their theatre experience?
Other people.
Other people, the rest of the audience. I was doing a show once, and I'd literally just started, and I was doing a bit, and this woman came down the aisle and go, Michael, I can't find my seat. My son's in it, and I can't find him anywhere, and I'm trying to carry on. Excuse me, I don't know where I'm sitting, it's too dark. And I had to stop, and up goes the light, and the bloke who's obviously with his mum is going, dear God. And it's laughing, going, put her in the seat, and then we had to carry on.
I went to see Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and we took the whole family. We all went along, and my little brother's 10, and he's just at that age where he thinks it's like sort of real. And there's the point where Snow White gets given that poison apple, and she goes, "Should I eat the apple?" And everyone's going, "No, don't do it." And my brother's on his feet, he's going, "No, don't do it! Don't do it! It's poison! Don't do it! Don't do it!" And she eats it and collapses, and he went, "I bloody told her!"
Mobile phones.
Mobile
phones.
Yeah.
That is the right answer.
Right, yeah.
Yes, 51% of theatre-goers say that a mobile phone has ruined their theatre experience. The worst thing about phones going off in the theatre is you end up with the actors breaking out of character, pointing and shouting, and everyone in the audience hissing and muttering. In the end, I could hardly hear what my mate was trying to say, even on loudspeaker. Best way to discourage burglars.
What I do, I put a nude picture of me in the window. But from behind, so I'm looking over my shoulder like that, going... and it just says, come in.
Parma ham. I just put Parma ham out, because people are easily distracted. You come in thinking, right, I want a DVD. Hey, up, there's some ham there.
You could lace the Parma ham or something.
Bit of mozzarella.
A lot of burglars are junkies, aren't they? So what I think would be a good thing to do is fill your front garden full of gnomes dressed as policemen. They go, whoa, what's going on there? That is a bit freaky, I'm not going in there.
OK, best way to discourage burglars.
A dog.
That's a crazy answer.
Yeah.
Dog? That's mental.
Beware of the dog sign is number 9 on our list.
That only works for cat burglars, though.
Oh, no, we've had a call in from the 2 Ronnies. They want it back. What do you think the best way to do?
A burglar alarm?
No, that's number 4. Alan Cochrane?
Is it a mutt? Is number 1 a mutt? The best way to discourage burglars is a mutt.
I don't know if you can say moat properly. I'm guessing that you're trying to say moat, but you're saying mert. Like a goldfish that's got learning difficulties.
Shall I say it like you say it?
Yeah.
All right. Moat.
No. OK, it's meant to fool the burglars.
Lights on?
Yeah, lights on. I was about
That is
to
the
say
right
lights
answer.
on.
Of course.
The best way to discourage burglars is leaving the lights on. If you've broken into a house and you're watching this because they've left the telly on, why don't you do a poo in the living room? OK, scariest fairy tale character.
The scariest thing that I remember is a child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah. That is in there, I think.
Played by Madonna, wasn't it? Madonna, then.
Lots of people say
One of those first roles.
Is it Hannibal Lecter? I remember my dad used to read that to me every night. And he said, and he ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Good night.
I tell you what, the other one I ate, Jill from Jack and Jill. She was a clumsy wasn't she? He's fallen down a hill, right? And then she's made the exact same mistake, fallen down, landing on her, and then he's broken his crown and she's gone, I know what to fix that, a bit of brown paper and vinegar. And you're like, Germaline, you daft sod, Germaline!
OK, I'll give you a clue. Think gingerbread house.
The witch from Hansel and Gretel.
It's the witch with the oven and all of that going on.
It's the right answer.
Yeah.
Yes, the scariest fairy tale character is the witch in Hansel and Gretel. In the original fairy tale, the witch who eats children represents acute postnatal depression, and the gingerbread house represents cravings during pregnancy. Hansel is the male generative force, the sperm, the son of the wood chopper or penis. Gretel is the egg. The enchanted forest is pubic hair. The warts on the witch's face are an STD. Cinderella is a the gingerbread man is gay. The beanstalk is a giant cock. Little Red Riding Hood is the clitoris, and Goldilocks animals. Any questions?
George Michael, surely.
He was found slumped at Marble Arch roundabout. And to be fair to him, that is a very tough roundabout to get off. I've been at that roundabout just going, oh, sod this. But I think in some ways it's a metaphorical roundabout for him. One way, it's to go back to his clean-cut pop image. Another way is to carry on having sex in toilets with strangers, taking loads of drugs. And then the other way is Edgware Road. But, the thing I thought was funny was they said they found some sex toys in his boot. And I thought, that's probably jump leads.
Apparently, though, you know, when they opened up the boot and found the sex toys, the gimp mask and the gay porn, he said he was off to a Lib Dem fundraiser on Hampstead Heath.
He slumped unconscious at the wheel and they couldn't rouse him.
They couldn't rouse him?
They couldn't rouse him.
If that happens, have a cuddle and then try again in half an hour.
I mean, he's sort of following the Pete Doherty school of driving, which is just get in a car and just get nicked. I don't know who the hell insures Pete Doherty. How does he get car insurance?
Well, he said to the police, he said, I'm not that much of a junkie anyway, didn't he? Maybe that's how he got car insurance. Not too much of a junkie.
But the other weird thing about Pete Doherty is he's the fattest heroin addict in the world. What's he cutting it with? Utterly butterly?
The pay gap between men and women, that they've done some survey that over a working career, a woman will earn £1 million less than a man.
But they're not taking into account all the extra money you make at bingo.
Yeah, obviously.
There's no point paying us anymore, though, because we would just waste it, wouldn't we?
We would.
Chocolate and see-through knickers.
Yeah.
Definitely motivated, aren't we, men and women? I think you've all been paid with money to come on this show. And Mira and I have there's a room full of baby seals at the back that we've been cuddling before we came on. And then the producer came into the dressing room and complimented me for an hour and a half on my frock.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
Do you want to go clubbing later? The baby seals.
Yes, I know, I got that.
It's hardly surprising women earn less with that story in the week about the air hostess. Did you see that story? There's an air hostess on a Virgin flight, a bit of turbulence, she went, we're all going to die! It's going to crash! We're all going to die! Normally people complain about a lack of information, don't they? You know, no wonder you're on 2 bob and a dozen eggs.
2 bob and a dozen eggs? You really understand women.
What gets me about this report is it's women undermining women because they're basically saying they're picking the wrong jobs and stuff. Because there was actually a woman who said it, Baroness Margaret Prosser, and I quote, she said, women in full-time work earn 13% less per hour, or something like that. I'm a bit to say.
Well, one of the things that did come out of the report is the fact that it's the type of jobs that women go into. They're given bad careers advice.
The 5 C's.
The 5 C's, yeah.
What is it? Caring,
clerical,
cheerleading.
Targets. Is it calling into the X Factor?
Yeah.
It's catering, cleaning, cashiering, clerical work, and caring.
Like nursing. That's a tough job, nurse. Go from pub to pub, take your clothes off. But also, there's a thing, I saw this thing, there's a way women can earn extra money. Did you see this thing at Heathrow Airport? They're giving people, if you work at Heathrow Airport and you find a bomb, you get 50 quid.
Yeah.
And WH Smith vouchers.
I believe it's M&S vouchers.
M&S vouchers?
M&S vouchers you get.
You can get yourself some new knickers while you yourself. You find a bomb in your bag.
Isn't that just their job, though?
Yeah, but they're incentivising them with
incentivising with gift
as if you didn't have that, a bomb would go past and you go,
Yeah.
"No, it. I want an hourly rate. What is the point?
You know that thing they say, if you leave your bags unattended, your luggage will be taken away and destroyed. That's the job I want. I imagine there's a big long room at Heathrow and there's some luggage at the end, and me at the other end with a bazooka. And I'll blow it up, and there's just sun cream and knickers going everywhere. Running through it. I don't want vouchers. I want that job.
In the 1940s, 25% of men what?
Had my nan in an Anderson shelter.
She flattened some grass, didn't she?
Oh, yes.
Is it 25% of men ate a diet of only powdered egg and weasels?
Weasels?
25% of men who fought for our freedom and our future rights didn't realise 60 years later all the thanks they'd get would be happy slapping and pushing dog shit through the letterbox.
Well, Alan, all I've got to say to that is stop it.
In the 1940s, 25% of men wore knitted swimming trunks. They never had proper swimming trunks in them days. They used to knit them, didn't they? They used to go paddling off the coast of Blackpool and your trunks would be 3 foot behind you. Full of scampi.
It's to do with kind of moral depravity.
We're having affairs?
It's not having an affair. It's I think, morally worse than that.
Murdered. He said it was worse than having an affair. Just trying to... I mean, it might be a bit of a leap.
I think...
Visited hookers.
Correct. That's the right answer. Yes, in the 1940s, 25% of men slept with prostitutes. It sounds bad, but have a look at your gran. Can you blame them? 75% of Russians are afraid of what?
Is it Virginia Woolfsky?
I wish it was.
Oh, it's texting. They've got to take their gloves off, haven't they? You ever tried texting with gloves on? You end up trying to say something like, hi, how are you? And you end up saying, fuckers back at Books Bog, mate.
Is it KGB?
It's not the KGB, it's related to that.
Oh.
B&Q.
B&Q is not related to the KGB. They were never...
TBC.
No.
CBBS.
Yeah. Correct. I'm afraid of CBBS, yeah.
It's one of the emergency services.
The AA.
Is it the police?
Yes, it is the police. Yes, 75% of Russians are afraid of their own police force. The other 25 are missing. Shh, say nothing.
Don't upset the Russians, Jimmy. Don't upset the Russians because they got all the gas. They could phone up Power Gen and they'll say, don't give him any gas. And they'll do it.
You know what the irony will be? They won't be annoyed at the joke, they'll be annoyed at that accent. OK, the average Brit has lost 37 what?
37 hours of their life explaining the internet to an old person.
It's like a big... What, like an encyclopedia? Yeah. Another cup of tea and a biscuit.
Is it Twixes? I never lost a Twix, it was a guess. Imagine if you'd lost 37 of them, though. You'd stop buying them, wouldn't you? What are you going to have? Mars bar, Twix? I'm not having Twix, keep losing.
I like the way as a badge of honour you said, I've never lost a Twix.
37 elderly relatives to Errol Shipman.
I'll give you a clue. They're round and shiny, they have a hole in them.
Women?
Are you single by any chance?
CDs is the right answer.
The fine should be, instead of financial, because most people on Twitter are just bored people who don't earn a lot of money, you should be, if you do a bad tweet, you lose characters. So like speeding, but you can only do 135 now. And then if you're really bad, right, you can't use the letter E on Twitter.
Sally Bercow tweeted, why is Lord McAlpine trending? Innocent face.
Yeah, the good news about it all is that Sally Bercow has been forced to close her Twitter account, which is the only good thing. I would have had her close it ages ago for doing that stupid thing where you put an asterisk and then something you're doing, and then that really pisses me off. Definitely starting the diet today. Asterisk, goes for some cake. Asterisk, oh,
Hang on, Grandad looks upset. Sean, what?
Well, I just don't know how you can be annoyed by her Twitter. What are you reading them for in the first place?
To get annoyed. Yeah. What else am I going to do with my day?
I was over the moon when I found out I could sue people on Twitter. Things I get called. Yesterday, someone called me the most gormless man on the planet. That's got to be worth a tenner. He can't have checked with everyone.
I've only ever done one tweet. Did one tweet. And I've got 36,000 followers, which if you worked it out on a follower per tweet ratio, I'm the most successful person ever on Twitter.
What did you tweet?
I tweeted, due to a series of imposters, I have been forced to set up a Twitter account. Now go f*** yourselves.
I'd love it if you got into Twitter. Really, because there's times I think about you in the week, and I just think... I just don't know what you do. There's times I think...
What do I do?
I'd love to know what Sean's doing.
Sit in a tree and spit at pigeons. So what do you think I do, John?
That's one of the things, I just have no idea. I can't imagine you eating food.
What do you mean?
Can't imagine you going for a run or watching TV. I just imagine you in a dark room, sort of softly lit, just your face, staring at yourself in a mirror. Growling.
I do stare at stuff, yeah.
28% of people think the government is hiding evidence of aliens.
You shouldn't even be saying that. For Christ's sake, Jimmy, that stuff should be kept under wraps.
Listen, the truth is out there.
Man, you can't put that out there and blow their minds.
Yeah.
They're not ready for it, Jimmy.
I can't believe you said it.
Well, for now, OK, remember, if I get assassinated... 28% of people think the government is hiding evidence of aliens. True or false? What do you think, John?
I've been saying it. I've been saying it for 10 damn years. Ain't I been saying it?
Finally, an accent that goes with that shirt.
I think if anyone is throwing insults about clothes, it shouldn't be you tonight.
Why are you wearing that? Because I thought we weren't allowed to talk about it. Because, you know, sometimes when someone's a bit weird, you can talk about it. And then when something's so weird, everyone goes, is he all right?
God, wear a waistcoat. What's the matter with that? It's nice.
It just looks ridiculous.
Back to aliens. Do you believe in aliens, Mosley?
I don't, and anyone who does is a knobhead.
You know something I found out? That, you know, when you buy ham in the supermarket, in a packet, there's cameras in there. When you look at the ham, and go, oh, what's the sell-by date on that? There's somebody watching you in, like, a government office somewhere. They're all just shocked. They're all going, why isn't this on the news? Because they won't let it out there. So that's the kind of games they're playing with us.
Once you know that, the aliens thing doesn't seem so weird, then.
No.
Apparently we've got a sound problem. Hang on one sec. What's the sound problem?
Well, obviously, they're trying to shut us down, aren't they? No, you're not fucking taking me!
Whose mic is it? It's Sean's mic. You're just sorting it?
Yeah. If this isn't proof of what I've been saying... yeah, let's shut Sean up.
Most people think their life would make a good musical. True or false?
Oh, I think most people's lives probably would make a good musical.
No, they wouldn't. Most people's lives are boring as aren't they?
They're not, though. They're not. Maybe the individual, but families are always really interesting. There's always skeletons and scandals, and every family's got that, right?
Yeah, true.
Favourite musical? Sean?
I don't really like musicals, to be honest.
Do you like anything?
I do. I like loads of things. I love rice. I like books. I like music.
What music do you like?
Well, all the good stuff.
What genre?
All the good genres.
Do you like rock music?
I like rock music, yes.
OK, well, I would like to invite you to come and see Jesus Christ Superstar next year.
Oh, thank you.
Worst thing about doing DIY?
The only tool I've got is a hammer. I do all the jobs with it.
All the jobs?
Yeah, if I'm sanding a window, with a hammer. So, you know, painting the skirting board, hammer.
Changing a fuse in the plug.
Hammer, yeah. My house is in ribbons.
Power tools really mean you can screw up big, fast. Like, with a little screwdriver, you're not really going to do much damage. You go, oh, but with, like, a power drill, you go... Wow, 30 seconds and I have ruined that whole wall.
Nail guns are fun. Ooh. Sorry.
Have you done any DIY? Would you ever do any?
No, get a man in. That's my answer to that.
See, I find a bit of DIY quite therapeutic. I enjoy it.
What was the last bit of DIY
Home
you did?
improvement. I enjoy the aesthetics, you know, but
Do you mean
I enjoy...
buying cushions? Yeah. That's not DIY. That is buying cushions.
It's improving the home.
Yeah, I bought some cushions. Oh, exhausted.
I like it, personally. I don't see the problem.
What was the last thing you built? What was the last thing you...
It was a white unit from IKEA. And,
That's not do it yourself.
Yeah, but you drink your way, drink through it. That's the thing that I don't understand. Why isn't everybody drunk making things?
The worst thing about IKEA is you're not allowed to punch people in the back of the head. Why do they walk so slow? Get through!
I don't call it IKEA. I call it IKEA! And they say, can you keep it down? I'd say, look how big you've written it. You write it that big. That's how big I say it. IKEA!
OK, so a bad workman would blame this.
Tools.
What about them?
Lack of the right tools.
There you go, that's the right answer. What? She's getting the point. Yes, the worst thing about doing DIY is not having the right tools. If you're doing DIY, there's one tool you definitely don't need. Nick Knowles. I remember as a young lad my dad showing me how to use a hammer, but even then it seemed like a messy way to kill a guinea pig.
We've had this heat wave, had an official heat wave, or as one daily paper said, killer heat. Killer heat. But luckily enough, they print these tips and advice inside the papers. Thank God. Because we'd never think of stuff like that, would we?
Drink water.
Just all those, you know, drink water.
Drink water.
That's why I'm thirsty. It's something to do with the heat.
These weather warnings, they're stupid, aren't they? Come on, they say today, weather warning. It's hot. Look outside. But then, to be fair, they said it's for the vulnerable people. It's for babies and it's for old people. So I'd like to, if I can, do a weather warning for my nana. Take your f***ing coat off. 4 degrees, love.
Why is hot weather such an excuse for such execrable clothes?
Well, not everyone looks crap in a bikini, Trisha.
Sorry, what was that?
That's when, because he was being a moose.
He was being a moose?
No, moose is like this. Is it the Geordie woman who recovered from a stroke only to get a Jamaican accent?
It is a brilliant story.
Yeah. I don't think it's a major problem for her. You know, she goes on with life. Every now and again she goes, bung, bung, diddly, diddly, woo. Apart from that, it hasn't been a major problem.
There might be a woman in Jamaica waking up today going, why, I?
It could be a lot worse. She could have an Australian accent, couldn't she? That would be terrible. That's Australia with that rising inflection all the time. Going, I'm going down the shops. I was in Sydney about a year ago and I heard someone actually sneeze with a rising inflection.
Oh,
This guy went, achoo!
I love Australia. I was there about a couple of years ago. I was there, I was watching my career go down the drain in the opposite direction.
One of the things we have on our show a lot of the times, I go up to somebody in the audience who's blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and then they start talking like that, in it, man, you know, wicked. And I said to this guy once, I said, why are you talking like that? I'm black and I'm not bloody talking like that. What the bloody hell are you talking like that for? He was giving his view and said, you know, bring it on, innit.
Is this... Oh, were you saying in it, or...?
No, they say innit.
They say in it. In it.
You could not cut it in the ghetto, Jimmy.
I couldn't cut it in the ghetto?
You could not cut it in the ghetto.
Get out of my face, 30% of millionaires are worried about what?
Robin Hood and his merry men.
Helping their new wives with their homework.
Is it the admiring glances of Heather McCartney?
You're kind of close with that, in a funny sort of way. It's security related.
That their partner is a security guard.
Say the answer. 30% of millionaires are worried about being stalked.
What's that got to do with Heather McCartney?
Stalked. He's a f***ing stalker.
Well, she's only got one leg, but that couldn't call her stalking.
Every week, 4,000 Britons are hospitalised through DIY accidents. Is that true or false?
I've never met anyone who's been involved in a DIY accident or even heard a story about someone who's been involved in a DIY accident.
Yeah, but you move in the right circles to hear the DIY stories.
I've built stuff.
Yeah?
What have you built?
Nothing.
What about the woman who marries you?
Why?
Because you don't... What do you do then?
I'm an attractive prospect, Trisha.
Are you good around the house, Emo?
No, my light bulb burns out, I sell the house and move.
I bet Dave does. DIY. You look kind of a
No,
DIY.
I don't, and I think that's probably, you know, people do get hospitalised because men are generally at DIY. The ones who are good at DIY do it for a living, basically.
Why are men on this planet? If you
All right,
cannot put out
Trisha,
the rubbish
okay,
into DIY,
okay.
why are you here?
Bridges, roads, hospitals, everything you can think of that's ever been invented.
Western civilization, in short.
But Sean, if we don't give you a little bit of how's your father, never mind about building...
How's your father? How is it way back there in the 50s?
I'm trying to be polite on the television. All right,
Have you seen your show?
Never mind building civilizations. You can't last 2 days without a bit of sex.
Listen, you shelf hooer. You're putting out... Is your house just covered in shelves? Your husband's going, it's brilliant. Every time I put one out,
No.
she puts up.
He can't. He can do a bit of deal.
Can he?
Yeah.
I bet his shed's fantastic.
His shed is great.
He's got an amazing shed in the garden.
Yeah.
With a combination lock on there, a drawbridge, everything. I'm in the shed, he's got a gun turret. No! I'm in the shed! Yeah, just stuff!
64% of men believe they have a higher pain threshold than women. Is that true or false?
You don't get colds, do you? You get the flu.
Yeah, but that's not pain, is it? Pain's like getting your dick caught in your flies. That's real pain.
No, real pain is giving birth. It's like, as Diana Ross once told me, it's like in a fridge.
I read in Cosmopolitan, I was in some doctor's surgery, it said the most painful thing that a woman can have done is have the nipples clamped. And I thought, no, having them towed away has got to be worse. But I think, actually, having said all that, women do have a higher pain threshold because they go through all sorts of stuff just to feel and look good. It is all painful stuff you put yourself through just to attract, well, just to look good and feel good. And for us, it...
You were going to say attract men,
well,
weren't you?
in a way, yeah, in a way. But, I mean, there's a bloke in Leeds this week got arrested for shagging a frozen turkey, so, you know what I mean? It's like...
So we're wasting our time, is that what you're saying?
Trisha, you're in a really bad mood tonight, aren't you?
Well, just
questioning everything.
Because I'm the only girl here. No, I'm not. Alex is the other girl.
Do you have a pop at our little Alex?
No, Alex is more of a girl than I am. He's all sweet.
Why would you say I was a girl?
But you're sort of all, you know, I can't do it.
Is that your impression of me?
You're sort of...
Are you sitting there doing an impression of me?
Are you sitting there doing a... No, you're all sort of delicate.
I can be fairly rugged.
Go on, then.
Go ahead.
Go on.
Let's have some ruggedness.
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
see rugged.
So anyway, I was watching the football. Yeah? I don't know if I can pull it off. Really?
Yeah, just push me. Just a push.
Hang on. Yeah.
Oh, my hero.
Shut up, Trisha! I've said that so many times to the TV, it felt totally different in person.
Most annoying thing about restaurants?
I went to a restaurant and the waitress was on crutches. And she brought the bread rolls in her mouth. Just gonna go and get the soup.
I was in a restaurant and I dropped a fork on the floor and they give me a new fork. So I dropped the napkin just to test it out and they give me a new napkin. So I pushed my ex-wife out of her chair.
I'll give you a clue. It's service related.
Is it losing the ability to say the word bill when you enter? Because at the end of the meal, nobody can say, excuse me, can I have the... You have to say, excuse me, can I have the...
Unless you're in Spain. No, Spanish for the bill is la cuenta. Yeah? Not as I did when I went over, stood my phrase bit and asked for la queso, which is cheese. And he's like, queso, everybody? I go, yeah, pay for everybody. Queso around. Queso. Dump. For f***'s sake.
Worst place to cry?
Is it from your ears?
I imagine a bad place to cry would be a photo me booth. You get your passport photos done. Because every time you went to a country, you had to go...
OK, worst place to cry?
Antarctica.
Well, job interview.
Correct answer. Justin Moore. Yeah, the worst place to cry is at a job interview. That's according to the survey. But in my experience, it is definitely during sex, especially if the sex is during a job interview. 7% of people don't wear underwear. Sadly, though, it's not the 7% of people you hoped. 1 in 4 British people have never been to Wales or Scotland, and those people are known as employers. And 8% of men want to marry a teacher. I used to go out with a teacher. If I wanted to have sex, she always insisted I put my hand up first. John's team, what do you think people have been talking about this week?
Probably the most exciting end to a Premier League season ever. It was one of those moments where I just felt sorry for everyone who doesn't like sport, because if you like sport, it was just... I mean, I was in Morrison's car park because I was on tour, so I went and got myself a little packed lunch, and I got in the back and I pushed the seats forward and I put 5 Live on, and I just went batshit. Because I didn't think... I knew I wanted to win, because it's basically twats versus and then, after a while of working out whether I prefer twats or which, I mean, every man goes through at some point. I assume we all watched it?
They said it was the most thrilling finale ever. I thought the most thrilling finale ever is when you're trying to jack one out and someone's trying to put the key in the door.
Soccer Saturday is the best entertainment. There's a guy called Chris Kamara who gets so excited, he starts as an analogy and then he just gets confused. There's a clip of him going, and the lads are fighting like beavers.
We're talking about this game, the Man City game, as being the most... It couldn't possibly be more dramatic. And I was thinking, well, it could be a bit more dramatic if, on the final whistle, once they'd won, a mysterious fog descended on the pitch. And then out of the fog came Mancini, and it turns out he was a pirate ghost. Like that. And he was clutching the calcified heart of his virgin bride, who was burnt by customs men 300 years ago. And Gary Neville goes, oh, my God, this is unbelievable scenes here. Mancini's a pirate ghost, come to wreak revenge.
Did you watch it, Ben? I had to watch it because I'm a Bolton Wanderers fan, and we were in a relegation scrap with QPR, who Manchester City were playing. Tough, yeah, we got relegated.
You're back where you belong.
Why don't you come to the Reebok one day, Jimmy, me and you?
I should go to the Reebok one day. What to buy trainers?
It's in Bolton. it's a stadium.
There was a man who walked out after 88 minutes and missed the best part of his life ever. And it makes me feel good that I think there might have been points in my life where I've left early and I just didn't find out, like my last girlfriend when she said, I don't think we should see each other anymore. If I'd have stayed, she'd have probably gone, unless we're husband and wife.
Catherine, do you follow...
No, it's boring. I get that you guys love football, and I love you for that. But I would be interested if they announced the players in a way that I could understand. Like, instead of numbers on their backs, they could be like, and now Colleen Rooney's husband, and now Alex Gerrard's husband, and the guy who cheated on Cheryl Cole, followed by that dickhead who's Hobbies' father, you know? And then...
What voice are you doing? Is it a haunted house voice?
The Greeks are in... I mean, it's been going on for bloody months. We left his country. I mean, I think the real victims in all this is people doing topical panel shows, you know? Every week, we look down and go, what are the big stories? You go, oh, it's the bloody Greeks again, can't they sort? I mean, such a nice country, got lovely weather, all that lovely lamb, marinated lamb, they've got
hummus, they've got taramasalata, Stavros Flatley, they've got it all.
Greece is just like Kerry Katona, for me. Yeah.
Go on, explain it to us.
It's exactly the same. They both, like, change management to get out of a bad situation. They both get gas from Turkey. They both have no jobs or market confidence. Jennifer Aniston's Greek, and she's lovely. And she could just adopt the whole nation of Greece to save it, and that would really stick it to Brangelina as well. Yeah. She'd be like, who's Mother Earth now, home wrecker?
Note to self, say homewrecker more. Yeah. Most people would rather communicate with their friends online than face-to-face. True or false? What do you think, John?
I don't like the whole online... I mean, if you're talking to someone online, they're not a friend, are they? That is a simple fact. If they're not in the room, they're not a friend. People say, oh, I've got loads of friends online. No, you haven't. You're a twat. You're on your own.
So is that the voice in your head speaking to you now, or...?
I don't know which voice is which, but I'm mentally ill, right?
Well, didn't you think, like, maybe if you met someone that you thought was sexy online, that they could just be this weird old man?
I went so far as to go to America to meet one that I'd met in Beauty's Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, how did that go?
She was all right, but a friend, and I swear to God, I've never... And being of, you know, a rotund shape myself, I feel able to say this. You know when you look through the thing in your door on your hotel, right? You know when you do that, and it distorts someone's body shape, and so they kind of fill the glass. And I opened the door, and she was the same shape. So I went like that, and I opened the door, and I went, Jesus Christ!
Well, that I'm sure did wonders for her self-esteem. John, how many friends would you say you have?
Like a million. I mean, a stranger's just a friend you haven't met yet. What I don't like about chatting to people online is there are people whose accents I can tolerate and there are people who blah, blah, and then you talk to them online and you realise, oh, you can't write, you can't spell, you can't punctuate. And then a male friend will send me a text with an X on it. So you've never kissed me in real life. Why are you suddenly getting all flirty on a text? Because when I bring it next time we're at the pub, you're going to be, whoa, whoa, what's this? You started it, you put an X.
Paul, have you ever met anyone online?
I just don't understand the whole... Because if Facebook, you can talk to people now face-to-face. Twitter, you're going to introduce it. But I don't understand the whole following thing. If I want to follow someone, I'll do it in a raincoat. I won't do it...
Are you on any of these things, Catherine?
I am, yes. I'm on Facebook and the Twitter. And the last time I appeared on this show, I was very happy to get lots of lady followers and very confused to get lots of pictures of cocks.
I would like to apologise for that. I think I misread the signs. Worst thing about going to the gym?
The changing rooms. But if I'm getting changed, I try to do it without exposing my bits to other men.
Yeah, because they're all hiding all around the changing rooms, waiting for you to come in. John's coming! Everybody hides! They're getting in the laundry bin in the towels, like that. Alibaba. They lifted out and go, is John there? Yeah.
I knew that they were hiding, but they're not hiding. They're just stood there with everything out, flossing their ani in front of me. So I assume other men don't want to see my testicles. But if you're the man in the change rooms doing the towel thing where you have to flick your knickers up, your boxer shorts up...
Your knickers? I don't want this to descend into some sort of playground teasing, but it would appear that John wears knickers.
I actually believe, and this is the exercise I practice, the world is my gym. Because I practice diametric tension. So, for example, if I pick up a cup of tea, I go like this, I go... I think the worst thing about going to the gym is the music. Because you never have music you like. It's always like...
It's very difficult to exercise to, like, Swan Lake.
It does seem to be a universal thing in every gym in the country. They've gone, tell you what people want. Well, that's a bad example, because that is a good one. But there are some annoying ones as well.
The thing is, if you get rid of the that just amplifies the idiot who's giving it...
Of course you can spy.
That's just me opening my locker. Well, I think it has to be the transition of power, where Tony Blair stepped down as Prime Minister and Gordon Brown has quickly gone into his shoes. I personally have done very well, incredibly well, out of Tony Blair's time, because I had the wisdom, about 10 years ago, to place a bet at Ladbrokes that his last meeting will be with Arnold Schwarzenegger, who would also be the governor of California. And I put another bet on Brown's last meeting is with Dale Winton, who's the leader of Hamas.
And then Schwarzenegger sitting there, and he said, we had a wonderful fried English breakfast. Did you see that nonsense?
I did see
Well,
that.
you cannot fry steroids. So you know the man...
I watched the press conference with Brown on Wednesday, and he says, I'm going to make some changes at number 10. And I presume he means policy-wise, but I thought he should just make some changes to number 10, like getting rid of that door. It's been there years. Maybe change it into saloon style, right? Or some of those beads that they have to separate a newsagents from his house. You know those?
He should stoneclad it.
I'd like to see him slide down on a pole.
I always think Brown looks like he's just taken the head off a bear costume like that.
He's only got one eye. Well, only one of them works. If you're going to start making people in charge who've only got one eye, why not go with the legend that is Columbo? How good would he be in Prime Minister's Question Time? Just one more thing. Mr. Cameron, my wife's a great fan of yours.
I thought it was so wrong of Tony Blair to go out and say all his problems are based on his big mouth. I mean, you don't call your wife that in public.
He's been called Bush's poodle.
I know that when they do play Frisbee together.
Bush said, I've heard he's been called my poodle, but he's bigger than that. What, he's like a labradoodle?
You've got Gordon Brown, you've got Tony Blair. Who looks better naked?
Both mingers.
Both mingers?
But I would do Tony Blair, I have to say.
Tony, I know you got your afternoons off now.
I met him on a job once.
You met him on a job? What did you say, Gok? Are you Tony Blair?
I literally spun around and he was standing there and it was like everything went really slow and there was this big light behind him. He is sexy. He is so... Like, everyone's like, what?
He's going to be a peace envoy to the Middle East.
Making that Blair. Peace envoy for the Middle East is like making Mel Gibson in charge of a Holocaust museum.
He'd certainly take an interest in the Nazi memorabilia, wouldn't he?
Spice Girls. I'm thrilled because it's the first time they've been together in years, kind of like Paris Hilton's knees, and I got very excited about that. Victoria, apparently, as she's called now. I love it when gets money. Victoria, Posh came over to our country and she thought she was going to be so terrific, and then she found out in Beverly Hills she's fat, so she came home.
Alexa, you know your pop. How
Yeah,
old were you the first time the Spice Girls came?
11 or 12, that first year of school. Secondary school. I didn't first go to school at 11. Weird.
Girl power was a brilliant concept, wasn't it? It was like, you know, you're equal to boys, and if you're not treated equally, wear a boob tube and you'll be fine. And...
Yeah.
I love the Spice Girls and I love what they did with the styling, but I'm a bit concerned now that what's going to happen is they're going to come back, try and recreate all of that again, but having to wear very big supportive pants now, from their knees up above their boobs and squeeze it all in. So
Isn't that what your show's about?
Yes.
Putting fat women in clothes that they shouldn't wear.
It's not what it's called. Tune in next week on putting fat women in clothes they shouldn't wear.
What's her name? The one that just had the Eddie Murphy baby?
Scary.
Scary, yes.
Yeah.
And now that she's nursing, I said they should call her Dairy Spice.
It turns out it was Eddie Murphy's kid.
Well, it came out in a fat suit.
Did you hear this? They've got this machine. This digitally enhances their voices. And I'd really like to be in charge of that machine. Especially when Posh Pie steps up to the mic, just press off. She's going,
Big storms and flooding, because I know they had them in Yorkshire, but in Scotland we had like thunder and lightning storms, which I really enjoy, because during a storm I always shag my girlfriend and pretend that it's the conception of the Antichrist. I really hope she doesn't watch this, especially because she's pregnant.
The thing I like about the reporting of the floods is there's always someone in the high street with a canoe. My question is, where's he getting the canoe? Just nipping the boots. Oh, you haven't got a canoe? Fuck you.
There's a lot of people in Yorkshire who won speedboats on Bullseye in the 80s. For years, you know, everyone thought that, oh, OK, he's a right prick, he's got a speedboat, but now who's the winner, eh? Tom Cruise has been banned from Germany. He's not allowed in Germany to make this new film, I don't know, something about the Second World War, The Littlest Nazi or something.
Yeah, you should be careful. He could be here. Everyone should look under their chairs. That poor wife that never speaks. Watch her eyes. She's always blinking. SOL. Help me. Help me.
And he's not allowed in because he's a Scientologist.
In Germany, Scientology is not recognised as a church. It's seen as akin to Nazism.
I got a little bit angry about it at first, and then I thought, do you know what? It's a made-up religion, and us Jedis, we do not get annoyed at all.
Have you considered Scientology?
It's a bollocks religion.
I'm going to educate you.
Go on.
Scientology asserts that we are descended from 13.5 trillion beings from an overpopulated corner of the galaxy who were dumped in Earth's volcanoes by an evil galactic warlord called Xenu 75 million years ago.
Ziggy playing guitar. Sounds like a David Bowie lyric, doesn't it?
It's just mental. I mean, there is absolutely no logic to it whatsoever.
Yeah, but if it keeps them happy, who cares? It's when they come after you.
How do they come after you again?
Happy New Year.
It's a film. It's about a guy who apparently he's like a good Nazi.
Yeah, it's Klaus von Stauffenberg.
Here's a piece of meat before I kill you. What's a good Nazi? The whole thing is so, insane. It's the Nazis versus the Scientologists. I never thought I'd be on the side of Hitler. I mean, it's crazy.
Is there no one so culturally different that the Americans won't just have him played by Tom Cruise? Like, he was the last samurai. I was surprised he wasn't in that f***ing Muhammad Ali film. And he goes over as a samurai, right, which by definition everyone trains when they're about 5, right? He turns up aged 40 and just sort of picks it up.
Well, you're going to be a real shock when you see Finding Nemo. They talk in that. Fish. What they do in films these days, outrageous.
OK, let's have a look and see if Tom Cruise is up there. Yes, this is the story that Tom Cruise has been banned from filming in Germany because of his Scientology beliefs. So the Germans are calling Scientologists evil. That's the pot calling the kettle gay. Fingers on buzzers, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I think you might remember the tennis championship's been played at Wimbledon this year. Again. Every year. What are they doing?
The women's tournament, they're going to get paid the same as the lads for winning it for the first time.
Venus and penis, whatever the hell their names are. Pow! Pow! And they don't use a racket. I mean, they are...
They've banned people from wearing fancy dress because they're worried about Fathers for Justice.
They've told the security to look out for people dressed as Batman or Superman, but what if there's a proper emergency? What if something actually goes wrong and Batman turns up and he can't get in? That's mental.
Batman will be able to get past a £3.20 an hour security guard, or he'll be all use anyway.
Max Mosley's orgy. I like to say we're doing S&M. He said it's perfectly harmless. So if that's the case, he wants to get his money back. Sorry.
Well, they might not be, but they could be Nazi-themed sex orgies.
He's denying it. He's denying it vehemently. He's saying we were just doing a bit of S&M, and obviously it was in the papers one day. And he said, this hasn't been in the papers long enough. I'm going to take them to court.
I hope at some point someone in court says, this wasn't just any sex, this was S&M sex.
I like the idea that he said, Max Mosley said he'd been doing this for 45 years.
Man and boy.
45 years, and he said, and his wife didn't know. And I like the idea of him coming home. How does he explain that his arse looks like a grilled panini?
Yeah.
I fell on the barbecue at work again.
Duncan, have you ever tried the S&M thing?
I haven't. I didn't actually know what S&M meant till the other day.
Such a lie. Serbia and Montenegro.
What did you say?
Food. Gordon Brown has said that we're wasting too much food. This is about 3 weeks after he said we're all getting fat. Now he's changed his mind. Now he's saying we're wasting too much food. And, you know, of all the problems he's got, he's obviously become Prime Minister and gone, oh, what shall I fix first? Global terrorism, knife crime. Oh, no, you've thrown them bananas out. They've still got a bit of yellow on them. It's gone mental.
What you should do, if you don't want to waste food, just do what I do. I just buy Parmesan. Never goes off. Even if you can put it on a rooftop in Nairobi, it won't go off.
thing that gets me, right, I read in the paper this week that we waste £1 billion in food every year, right? Now, which sounds scary, doesn't it, right? But I've worked it out, right, that if you think, how many zeros is in a billion? That's 9 zeros, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. £1 billion, right? How many is there of us? 56 million, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a million, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So we waste
twice, 56.
£17.85 a year, right? So boobless. No, you're not doing it properly, right? So I worked it out. Per person, per day, we waste 4 pence a day. I couldn't give a flying monkeys, to be honest.
Jason, there's certain people that upset that balance.
I buy champagne and, like, chase homeless people.
Thanks for backing me up, Johnny.
I'm a nightmare. I go shopping and I'll do my go around. I love it. I love going shopping, round with my little trolley, round Sainsbury's. I do. And I love the little 2-for-1 deals you get. Put them in. But
do you tend to bring a couple of friends with you to do exactly the same
no.
moves?
The baby man.
Baby, the man had a baby. Where did it come out?
Where did it come out?
Yes, I know where
came out of it.
Out
Well,
of
he's
a
got
man's vagina.
Did it?
Yeah.
He's got mangina.
It's called a manny or a munt.
Is it?
Yeah. It is, yeah.
What actually classifies it? Because he's got a womb, but not.
He's got a womb, but
Yeah.
he's been living as a man for 20 years.
If you need a solicitor to back up your argument that you're a man, you're not a man, are you?
Technically, he's not a man until he can parallel park, piss standing up, and walk past a shoe shop without popping in. So there we go.
We've got a picture of him.
He looks like an inflated George Michael.
We've got another picture of him. We've got another picture of him. There he is.
Bishops or something.
Female bishops, and there's been a big hoo-ha about it because they were saying we should get promoted. And let's be honest, there's only so far you can go within the church. If you go vicar, bishop, archbishop, you're never going to get the top job, are you? That's God, isn't it? There's no...
And he's put his son in, hasn't he? Nepotism. That's why
exactly,
I hate.
Yeah. Women would be brilliant at being priests because, like, confession is essentially gossip, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, it's been 2 weeks since my last confession. Is it? Go on, tell us some more. I slept with a neighbour. Have ya? No way.
78% of people think they're not posh enough to go to the opera. True or false?
Where I live, 78% of people are not posh enough to go in a local spa. So...
I think this is a true stat. A lot of people know they're vermin.
A lot of people...
A lot of people in this country, they look at themselves and they say, do you know what? I'm vermin.
A lot of people know they're vermin.
Yeah, and I'd say, I can't go to the opera, I am vermin.
Well, I'm vermin and I've been to the opera.
Were you selling choc ice?
My wife's... I went to see Darren Brown, actually.
Not really opera, though, is it?
He does a big finish, like, but he... No, it's weird, because my mum got called up on stage, and she always thought... She was like, oh, I don't feel posh enough to go to the theatre. And to be fair, you're not, right? But we went to the... we went anyway, right? And it's like, she got called up on stage by Darren, and he went, right, sleep. Eventually went to sleep. But she had to slap him in the face to do this trick. But she didn't want to slap him in the face, because she's a nice woman. And a bloke at the back of the room just went... Fucking hit him, love! Hit him! Smack him out! And Darren Brown turned round with a second gap. He just went, you do that again, and I'll make you wet the bed for the rest of your life. And I thought, I reckon that night the bloke went home and his wife went, do you want a cup of tea before bed? And he went, do you know what, I'm going to leave it, to be honest.
Biggest turn-off for women?
Me.
Men with tails.
It's not called a tail, is it? It's called a penis. Grow
He's
up.
a dragon.
I think, often, men can make a mistake by using... Like, if you go around to a girl's house, you use her toilet. It can spoil things, can't it? Best you do is say you're going to the toilet, but don't use it. And then come out and just go...
Well, like you've got really
fresh... I'm just going to... I need to actually go... So you go in there, you don't have one, then you come out, and then later she goes, wow, he's so fragrant.
Yeah.
I was in a bar once, and they were doing speed dating downstairs, and I popped down to the toilet, I had to go through this speed dating thing, and obviously press the bell, you got 3 minutes, bing, and then you're done, right? And as I was walking past this table, I heard the bloke, he went, yeah, and so anyway, when I got there, they were already dead.
3 minutes.
Ping, and I was like, you've got 3 minutes. Don't tell them about your dead friend story.
Yeah, so what I do is I slice their beaks off, cut their feet off, and feed them as much until they die.
Bing!
That's farming, really. I inject their eyeballs with special fluid to make them grow faster. Bing! I could eat you. I know how to cut you up and eat you. I would say in about 20 minutes, because I'm a trained boner. A boner works in a slaughterhouse. Takes the bones out of animal, and I can size you up like a pig or a cow and just strip the bones out of you, and you'll be jointed and ready for sale within 25 minutes, because that's what a boner does. Bing!
Something that the woman would probably see if you went swimming.
Is it having a pair of Speedos, but the S's have come off?
Is it really, like, hairy?
Really hairy?
Really hairy.
Specific area? Hairy back, that's the right answer, yes.
Hairy back.
Yes, the biggest turn-off for women is a hairy back. I was going to shave my back, and then I thought, pluck it. OK, next one. Biggest celebrity polluter.
Is it the Transformers? They would be pretty, because they're a car and they're a robot, and that's 2 carbon footprints.
I know. Doctor Who.
Your world's brilliant, isn't it, Duncan?
What? He has a TARDIS, he turns up and he flies around the galaxy.
What fuel's on the TARDIS? Yeah. Nothing, because it's not real. Whereas the Transformers are real. Is it Simon Cowell?
Yes, it is.
He's up, yes.
Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell. Yeah, the biggest celebrity polluter is Simon Cowell. However, it's Louis Walsh that's responsible for the hole in the boys' own layer.
Yeah, European Championships. I reckon they're talking about that. I mean, a lot of people are talking about that.
It's quieter than normal, though. It's not as much. I reckon everyone's getting ready for the Olympics.
Everyone's waiting for the racism to kick off. That's why it's quiet, because there's been so much lead up to it that the fact that it's having... It's like if you had a party and you had a massive balloon and you just held a pin next to it like that, and you went, how's the party? Is everyone enjoying the party? Everyone would really be thinking, when are you going to burst that fucking balloon? Because I'm going to cry when that happens.
How scared are you of a balloon bursting?
You're telling me you don't have an ounce of fear when someone's blowing a balloon and they get to that point where the colours started to fade and it's too big, and you want to say to him, it's big enough, stop!
John, that's when I hold my eyelids open and walk right up to the balloon.
The only time I've got interest in football is when Peter Crouch and David Beckham are playing, and basically...
Such a weird mix.
That famous heartthrob, Peter Crouch.
I love it. I love that dance he does.
That dance he does?
That's not it.
You're the only
You're thinking of dressage.
I love Spurs, that's who I support.
Right.
And they're not playing, are they, in the Euros?
They're not playing in the Euros, no.
As a Spurs fan, you'll know that the Spurs manager left this week. His name was...
Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho. He's got quite a Cockney accent now. He's really picked up English, Jose Mourinho.
Oh, is it Harry Redknapp?
Harry Redknapp.
That's it. I love Harry. I love
gone.
Harry.
You know what I didn't like about the match against France was it started at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which means I have to watch it with my kids, which ruins it, because they just ask loads and loads of questions. So it starts off, they go, who's in the white shirts? You go, that's England. Oh, we live in England, don't we? Yes. Who's in the blue shirts? That's France. Why is he wearing yellow? He's the referee. What does he do? He tells all the rules. What are the rules? You can't pick the ball up. Why is that man picking the ball up? He's the England goalkeeper. England? Why is he wearing green? You go, oh. In the end, I just recorded it and put Happy Feet on and got my own back. You go, why is that penguin talking? They can't knit scarves.
You're not actually collecting the stickers, are you?
Yes.
The Panini stickers book.
Yeah, but I didn't want it to come out like this. I thought I'd at least entice a girl back to my bedroom before I brought out my swaps.
How many do you need now?
How many do I need? 250 stickers and 1 girlfriend. Does anyone have the England shiny?
It's dreadful, the shiny. It's not the official badge because it's not licensed, because we go with mail-in. But I'm not doing the stickers because I'm cool.
Weirdo alert! Are you doing the stickers
John
as well?
is doing the stickers. I've swapped with John.
You're collecting the stickers?
I am acquiring stickers.
I can't believe you two are collecting stickers. You're grown men.
Me and Josh were together in Greenwich last week, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we went on the hunt for stickers.
Do they have any stats on, or is it just the pictures of the blokes?
Oh, now she's interested.
I've got an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain that...
Oh, I need that. I've got Theo Walcott, I'll swap you.
Oh.
This may be the most tragic thing I've ever heard.
It's pretty much what the newsagent said when I said he was doing the stickers, and he just looked at both of us and went, no.
Oh, what's the pleasure of it?
The pleasure is in the... putting the stickers exactly in the lines.
I think if it was scratch cards, it'd be worth it, but not what you're doing.
You look at me like I'm filthy, like I've just admitted that I like to on dead hedgehogs or something. I think what you're doing is just a little bit... I mean, if it was... Why is a scratch card better than a sticker book?
Because you, like...
I like the way you've got really outraged. Why is that really bad?
Hey, a scratch card's £1 and a packet of stickers is 50p, so financially I'm up straight away. When you scratch a scratch card, you throw it away, you bin it. When I collect a sticker, that's in my book and I've got that forever.
John started this conversation by pretending he didn't collect the stickers. And now it's come out, he's the biggest ambassador for them in Britain.
Here's an amazing statistic. Going into this tournament in the Euros, England have never won their first game, have never beaten Sweden in a competitive match, and have never beaten the host of the tournament.
I learned that in a sticker book.
Is it gay marriage? Or garage, as I like to call it. The church are concerned about it, that they'll be forced to marry gay people in churches. It's like they've thought, this is the thin end of the wedge. What next? Horses?
Don't 80% of people under 50 are they supposed to be for gay marriage? So why don't... What's the problem?
Yeah, just
have a
get
vote.
over it.
It's the problem they've got is they've got a very, very diminishing congregation. People say churches are half empty. They're not. They're too big. They should be like little, tea huts. If you go on the outside of a town, they've got those big retail sheds like Halfords. It'd be like having one of those for a key cutter. It's just a bloke sitting there with a key cutting machine, this massive big shed. It's not the appropriate building for the marketplace.
Well, what do you make of this, Reg, the gay marriage thing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you are like a gay enthusiast.
I would describe myself as a gay enthusiast, yeah.
If you are a gay enthusiast, you probably would more enjoy the company of other gay enthusiasts. So...
You make it sound like a hobby.
Well, they make it look like it's fun, so...
Can I just say something?
Are you on the way to a wedding now?
No, it's especially for you.
Well, thank you
Because
very
you look
much.
like the man from Del Monte in that suit.
Thank you.
But basically, you know...
You said yes a few times, I would imagine.
Basically, the church... Oi, oi, pack it in. The church has this thing, we will welcome anyone through our doors and everything. And really, a lot of people hide in the church. You've got a lot of these people that work in churches. You see documentaries on it. They've molested children when they have been in their church.
Right.
So I don't think the church has the right to turn around and say, if you're gay, you can't get married in the church, because what goes on in a lot of churches isn't 100% anyway. Take that.
Yeah, we're good. Of course I know what you mean. A lot of what happens in churches ain't 100%. That's a fact.
It's inherently un-Christian to discriminate in any way. The question you should ask as a Christian is, who would Jesus do?
The big question for me is, why would anyone want to marry a bloke? But we had a bloke sleep on our sofa recently. I mean, there was a smell in the house for about 2 days.
But you have to remember that before your wife got to you smelled like that, too.
I don't understand why anyone would want to marry anyone. I mean, get together, sure, your bill's half price. I understand. I get it. TV licence is going up, gas is going up, electric's going up. Share it with someone, but don't bring paperwork into the eventual demise of your love.
I think it's respect. If you actually marry someone, it shows that, there's respect there.
Right.
Because You know, listen, you get a nice ring out of it, and not only that, basically, you have a fantastic day. But if you've been with someone for years and they can't even get down to Tiffany's and buy you a decent ring, get them gold.
Do you not know where Tiffany's is?
Yeah, Bond Street.
Nip down and get one yourself then, love.
I'm saying that, I can buy my own ring.
Josh, what do you make of gay marriage?
I don't like going to weddings. I find it stressful. I'd just get rid of marriage.
If you don't have weddings, the only time the whole family gets together is at funerals. And that is depressing.
Very true.
Not all the family, because there's one that's...
in a plastic bag.
It's exactly what I have on the card, yes.
I have shit in a plastic bag.
Why did you shit in a plastic bag?
I was 13 years old and I forgot my keys.
President Obama, he's become president of America last week. The way talking about is in his speech, acceptance speech, he said to his daughters in a very sort of touching moment, he said, "You can have that puppy now." Which is actually a pretty crap promise, isn't it? If you're president of the United States, you'd at least say you can have a pony on the moon. And I'm going to have a penguin. That's what I'd do if I was president of the United States. I'd have a penguin just wandering around the White House like that. And I'd dress him up as a general. And everyone had to salute him wherever he went.
But there is a general, like a penguin who's a general of the... Is it the Norwegian army?
Have you been watching a lot of Walt Disney films, Richard?
I'm telling you. Google it. Not now, we're busy. But, you know, there is actually... I bet somebody in this audience knows that that's a fact.
What, the people?
Right? Look at that. Facts.
I don't know whether we're really covering the Obama story in the detail we should. Seems a bit penguin-y to me.
It must be quite tense for him. He knows he's president, but he knows he doesn't become president till January. It's a bit like when you're at school and your girlfriend's 15 years and 9 months. You're thinking... Come on, fly by. when you're at school, I said...
Oh, I see, right.
Oh, right, when you... Oh, is that
I thought you meant when you hang outside of school.
I weighed myself this morning, right, for this, right? I guess, just have a guess what I weigh. Just have a guess. I know this is...
I want to remain friends. I would rather not take part in this guessing game.
What do you reckon? I reckon...
2 Ronnie Corbett's.
2 Ronnie Corbett's.
Sean's being polite. You meant Barker.
I'm going to join the initiative and I'm going to set my target as the 5th of April, right? And I'm going to get down... Apparently, my target weight is 13.5. That's what I should be getting down to. I'm going to go April the 5th. That's end of the tax year. And then when that bloke comes on the telly going, "Time is running out, time is running out," I can pretend he's talking about my life.
The raunchy vicar who was banned from the clergy for 12 years for being drunk in services and swinging. Yeah, she's a swinging vicar. Not only did she do swinging, but she was also a voyeur, because if she believed that God would be watching. So that's a bit kinky for starters.
Come on, God, you love it.
Yeah. But I just think all that praying in the daytime and swinging at the night time, imagine, it must have played havoc with her knees.
It'd be great if she did the marriage, wouldn't it? And she says, "Do you take him?" Because I know I have.
Oh, she only got caught when she turned up wearing the wrong dog collar.
There are lots of clues for all the keys in the collection plate.
I think that this is actually... The woman that should be blamed for this, or the bloke, is actually the careers officer who told her to go into it in the first place. Because at some point, they've sat down with her and said, "What are you into?" And she's gone, "I really like motorbikes, getting really pissed and shagging other people's husbands." And at some point, they've gone, "You thought of being a vicar?"
Obviously, this swinging situation, people are just meeting for the first time, I imagine, or you know, they've organised it on the internet and then they've got together. Do you think there's a bit of pillow talk, a little bit of, like, in the middle of it? Like, what do you do for a living, then? "I'm a vicar." "Yeah, right, sure you are, yeah."
It's better than, "Hey, love, have a guess how much I weigh." But you can't guess, can you?
Shall we see whether this female vicar misbehaving is one of the most talked about things this week? Yes, a female vicar has been banned from the clergy for drunken behaviour and sexual indiscretions. Let us not forget Luke 23, a plumber from Dagenham who she met on the internet. Her congregation got suspicious when she said, today's hymns are him, 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 and those two fellas from the back. Let's go. Fingers on buzzers, 2 more things to guess.
Well, there's been a big hoo-ha, hasn't it? The banks have they've took this 1.5% off. The government told them to take 1.5% off interest rates, and some of the banks are refusing to pass it on to us. And they've actually said, we're not charities. We're not charities. You're like, well, hold on a minute, you've got short memories, haven't you? Remember the other week when you were like, can we lend some money?
Jimmy, a lot of people are buying gold as well.
A lot of people are buying
They're
gold?
buying
I know
gold.
you're doing very well, Louis. Don't go on about it.
They're keeping it at home.
Oh, I'm buying gold.
One thing I've noticed is Cockney rhyming slang. Merchant banker no longer means wanker.
What does it mean now?
Unemployed.
The world.
You like the look of the world?
Yeah.
Half the world's population has never what?
In a plastic bag.
It's exactly what I have on the card, yes.
I have shit in a plastic bag.
Why did you plastic bag?
I was 13 years old and I forgot my keys. After school, and my mum, as a security measure, locks the door between the kitchen and the rest of the house. So I managed to break into the kitchen, and then I got there, I thought I was home dry, ready, you know, you kind of relax a little bit, you're like, okay, I found it, it's time, and the door was locked.
Why didn't you go back out and do it in the garden?
I was in my own garden.
Half the world's population has never backcombed a badger. Ooh, a big like goth badger.
Is it half the world has never used a computer?
Oh, you're not far off with that, yeah.
Half the world's population has used a computer. Oh, that's the same thing, isn't it?
Give us a clue, Jimmy. Is it mobile phones?
That is the right answer.
Is it?
Yeah, it's near enough to get the point, yeah. Yes. Half the world's population has never made or received a phone call. It's like half the world's population doesn't care who gets voted off X Factor. So at the end of that round, it's 4 points for Sean's team and 3 points for Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your first one. Most annoying thing about work colleagues.
The most annoying thing about work colleagues is that they always go running to the boss, accusing you of sexual harassment. And it doesn't matter how many times you move jobs, different town, different name. It keeps cropping up as a recurring theme. He's doing it again! It's like the 8th time in a year, and none of it is true. Is it that?
Is it when they come in and they go, oh, I had a dream last night, and you really want to just go, can I stop you there? Couldn't give a shit. Right.
I get a bit annoyed with people who do things to me in dreams. So, like, if I had a dream about you, I'd be a bit funny with you the next day.
Would you?
And if you were nice to me, I
If you had a dream about me?
would. Not that kind of dream, Jimmy.
Least pleasant voice.
Oh, is it Laura off the X Factor, according to Louis?
Yeah, Louis. Has she got the least pleasant voice, has she?
She was the least pleasant voice last
On
week
that
of
night.
the two in the sing-off. I'm no regrets.
No regrets. Just got to move on, live your life.
The worst voices are the ones in my head. The ones in my head that say, start fires. Yes, you. No, I won't kill Jimmy.
Your voices are so evil. That's not... My voice goes, just as I'm dropping off, just goes, have you locked the back door?
Jimmy, give us a clue.
She's from London.
Oh, great, you've narrowed it down to
Hold
16
on.
million.
I was going to say, is it?
She's got big teeth. There you go.
Esther Ranson?
No.
Janet Street Porter.
Correct.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Definitely. Bieber fever.
So what did he do exactly?
He was 2 hours late for his own concert. And it meant that people with young children missed their trains home. Some of them had to leave early, couldn't even stay for the concert.
It's pretty bad.
It's a disgrace.
A disgrace?
An absolute disgrace. He ought to be ashamed of himself.
Yeah.
But apparently he was in his dressing room playing computer games.
Listen to that.
Did you hear that shot horror in the studio?
What's a worse noise than if you'd gone, yeah, apparently he was in his dressing room doing coke and banging hookers.
Well, according to reports, Bieber says he was only 40 minutes late, blaming the delay on a technical difficulty. Maybe he couldn't save his score.
It's the first time I've admired him. If you arrive late and you still have the balls to get zip-wired in, dressed as an angel. Like, he's not snuck in at the back and gone, God, I'm so sorry, everybody, the bloody tube. He's properly, if you pulled that shit at work, just go, where's Mike? He's like, oh, here he comes.
I was at the concert and I was furious because I've got daughters. I didn't take them. I was just at the front going, Justin. I like to confuse it. It's just me and a row of 11-year-old girls. And then he looks across and he's going, touching their hands like that. And he gets to me and I'm just going, you're Justin.
Well, would you take you'd take your kids to go and see him though, wouldn't you?
No.
No, you wouldn't. Would they be into that kind of thing? Would they?
No, I'd have them adopted if they got into him. I'd put them into care.
And I had the impression most of them complaints really were because the parents, they didn't want to be there in the first place. And so that's why the wait is awful. I mean, if you have to wait for something you don't want to do, like see the dentist or take the ferry to France. And if you then have to wait, makes it even worse.
Another reason why the parents might have been upset is because they could have got an extra couple of hours in the pub. You know, because they got their... See? We've got some Beliebers in the house. Because that's what he calls his fans, isn't he, I think? Beliebers.
What?
Are they Beliebers?
Nick, would you describe yourself as a Belieber?
No, because I'm not a believer. I know. Yeah, no. I wouldn't... No, but, I mean, he calls his fans Beliebers, but I just call my fans Jean and Tony. And they're never angry when I'm late, because they're the ones that are driving me to the gig. I think you shouldn't be having a go at him for being late. He's only, like, a little bit late for... He's 19, isn't he? When I was 19, you know, I could barely make dinner with all the wanking I was doing, so... The fact is, he's entertaining millions of fans, so give him a break, innit?
Yeah, good point. Let's have a look and see if Justin Bieber is up there.
Yes.
Yes, Justin Bieber caused outrage by turning up 2 hours late for a gig. It's not just kids that like Justin Bieber. My nan actually describes herself as a belieber. She's very religious and she's lost her teeth. John Steen, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
What have you been talking about?
A massive Man United game, surely.
Oh.
Was it a red card, or was it not?
Brilliant, whatever, wasn't it?
Tell me what happened.
Well, basically, Manchester United were playing Real Madrid in the Champions League, and Nani got sent off for a foul that was quite... I didn't think there was much in it myself, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was good, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anything that makes Ryan Giggs cry should always be applauded. Little Alex Ferguson getting so angry, came out of his little thing and then he couldn't get down the stairs anymore. He can't move his limbs when he gets excited.
That was funny, wasn't it?
He'll still be managing when they have to put a spanner in and there'll just be shots of him like...
Denise, are you a football fan?
I do go to matches, yeah. I support Chelsea.
Do you?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yay!
Did you love it when Man U went out?
I missed the game because I was too busy baking.
Were you?
I was baking, yeah. I was putting a hot filling in my pie.
You may be the perfect woman. Not only baking, but innuendo with it. Nick, are you a football fan?
No.
No, not...
No, I've never really been into football, and it's like... It's the equivalent now of, like, Lost or West Wing or Breaking Bad, and everyone's like saying, oh, you've got to get into it, but I've left it too late, really. If there's a massive box set at the end of the football, then I'll buy that.
Well, Manchester United against Real Madrid is not in our top three. But Roy Keane claims the writing's on the wall for Wayne Rooney at Manchester United, but Rooney's not worried because he can't read it. Sean Steen, what else has the nation been talking about?
The Queen's not been very well.
No.
She had a bit of a... I don't know, she had an adverse reaction to her swan jalfrezi that...
She had the
It's Philip knocked up. It's one of those weird things you go, that's one of the real downsides of being royal, is if you have any ailment, everyone knows about it. You know, she's had sort of diarrhoea, vomiting, and the whole country knows about it.
You wonder if that vomit, if that sells on eBay.
No.
I wonder if there is a market for that. I mean, I can easily imagine poor Burrell there with a bucket by the drain. I don't know if there is a market. They're probably all waiting for Kate Middleton's afterbirth.
Remember Prince Philip had his bladder infection?
Yeah.
You know, it's not something you'd want everyone to know about. And he's in a private hospital, and they put the news on, and the news is from outside the hospital where he's got a bladder infection, and everyone's talking about your... Basically, he's got the most famous bladder in the world. And you get to the point where the Queen, I was expecting to see, like, you switch on the news, you know that guy, Peter Snow, at the elections, he's got, like, graphics of the Queen going, and the infection would have come into the stomach here, causing an expulsion here, later leading to more expulsions from this angle here. You know, just big graphics and, like, a plan of the Buckingham Palace, you know, saying that she would have run through this door here.
To get to the loo.
We don't think she would have made it all the way.
The butler would have held her hair back.
That's what you do, though, in general, isn't it? When you've got an upset stomach, you kind of go, I'm telling you. I've never like that before. Unbelievable. I sat down, you should have heard the noise. Now, does the Queen do that?
I imagine she's very dignified. She comes out and goes, one would give that 10 minutes if one were one.
But she's got like 400 toilets in her house. She wants to try having the in a house where there's one toilet and your flatmates won't go to the bloody shop for you to get toilet paper. I imagine she wipes her arse with Andrex puppies as well. Run away, go on.
She doesn't do that. She doesn't. She's got someone to do that for her.
I bet someone wipes
They get someone to do everything for them. They've got someone to take their condoms off.
Whipping.
When they've had sex, someone comes in, they go, I'm not touching it, you take it off.
Well, it's got to be Michael Jackson's funeral, hasn't it?
What, sorry? Is he dead? Did you watch it?
Oh, I caught the last half hour. Thought it was quite nice. I mean, everyone's been slagging it off, saying it was a bit, a bit cheesy and that, but if you could have Stevie Wonder singing at your funeral, you'd have him, wouldn't you? I mean, you'd rather it was your 40th, but, you'd have him, wouldn't you? The weirdest thing was all the fans. There was, like, millions of fans dressed up like Michael Jackson. Now, can you imagine being at your nana's funeral, right? You're just coming out and everyone's dressed like her. You're like...
The thing that I love is how people forget about the bad stuff with the kids.
Oh, yeah! Forgot about that.
He was nice, though. He did really good music. It's like, when anyone dies, that's always what happens. Like, this man murdered 20 prostitutes. But he was good at macrame. So.
I'll be honest with you, I think when glitter goes, people will remember the bad stuff. Kelly, did you watch it?
I thought the whole thing was a bit much, to be honest. I mean, all of his brothers wearing the glove.
Do you notice the detail of that? Because they clearly bought 5...
I know! Someone told me this. I thought it was so funny. Instead of buying each one of them a right or a left-handed glove, they bought, like, 6 pairs and split them between 12. So some of them had them on the left hand and some of them had them on their right.
The weirdest thing I read is that they're going to put him in a concrete tomb so crazed fans can't dig him up. Who is doing that? Seriously. Who is that much of a fan? Like, hey, love, I know we missed out on tickets for the memorial service. Come in the lounge.
No, but won't his face not decompose because it's plastic?
I don't think it will. I think it'll stay pretty much as is.
Yeah, he's like a bag of nappies. 500-600 years. The weird thing about it is it's not really the funeral, is it? It's like a sort of pre-funeral. It's like he's engaged to be dead. In a way, he said, well, we're dead, we're preparing for his deadness, but his deadness hasn't happened yet. We haven't got the full deadness. Because his funeral's going to go on for ages. People are going to be making jokes about his funeral for about 2 or 3 months. It's like the death that just keeps on giving.
Reg, did you watch it?
I came in about halfway through, and first half hour, I thought it was about like some kind of music competition. And,
were you voting at home?
Yeah, wow, it's a concert, man. I started watching it, and then they flashed on the coffin, and I was like, oh, Michael Jackson dead.
But did you expect Simon Cowell to press a button and go, But there's also a thing about him saying he'd be singing in heaven with the angels. And I was thinking, if he gets into heaven, we're all going. Oh, me. In my MI6.
Is it MI5? I don't know this.
MI6. MI6 is foreign intelligence. MI5 is home. MI4 is like parks and waterways. And MI3 is clamping.
Which one does furniture?
MFI.
Plinth thing in Trafalgar Square, you know, Anthony Gormley.
I think it's the most
plinth.
ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
I like the idea of the plinth. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
I'd
you
love
wanna
to
go
do
on
it.
the plinth.
I'd love. Well, you have
What
to
would you
apply.
do for an hour?
What I would do is, it's a plinth. I'd paint myself gold and take a snooker cue so I'd look like a trophy, like that.
You could dress as a pigeon and shit on people's head from it, couldn't you?
Catch a pigeon and on its head. Vengeance.
How much do you want to bet that someone's going to get married on it?
Hey?
Some cliche where some people will get married on it.
Oh, yeah, the old cliche, you know, the plinth in Trafalgar Square, where people get married how many times? Are they going to roll out that one? Jesus, Kelly.
Sperm?
Sperm?
Yeah.
What have they been saying about sperm?
That they can genetically make sperm in a test tube now. I don't see the point in it, really, because we were saying that before, there's not exactly a lack of it out there.
Well, maybe in your world, young lady.
Basically, they've cloned a human sperm, haven't they? But all they've got to do now is get it down to scale, because currently it's quite big. It's like a live turbot. They also reckon that a lot of scientists don't believe they've done it, and they want an expert to check it. Someone like Jordan, just to go... No, there you go.
I can tell you it's not one of the most talked about things this week, but this is the story that scientists have created sperm in a laboratory for the first time. You'll find the results of their experiment spread across the pages of New Scientist magazine.
Is that a man holding a Bible?
Yes.
OK, you've chosen the vicar. In a survey to find Britain's happiest profession, the clergy came second. What came top?
Beer tasters. A beer taster in Britain would have to be one of the happiest people in the world, I would think. Y'all drink the way Americans eat. And just, you got to go a long way to be an alcoholic in this country.
Yeah, you really have to. You really have to perform. And there are towns where you can't be an alcoholic, places like Newcastle, where it's just not feasible.
No. I've never seen women drink as much as they do in Newcastle.
Man, on weekends, sometimes they dress up like hookers, too. It's great.
Kelly, if you had a real job, this is just a scenario, it's not going to happen,
real
no one's going to make you do a real job, what would you like to do?
Oh, is this a real job to you?
Yes, it is. Bringing joy to the nation.
Jimmy, and not forgetting scaring any children who are watching.
Get to bed, I'm coming to get you.
I've got a little brother who's 8, and I asked him a few weeks ago, like, what do you want to be when you're older? And he had a proper good think about it, and he went, a dog. He's looked at the dog and he thinks, that looks like a pretty good life to me. I'll tell you what, the easiest job I've seen recently, lollipop ladies
That's
at
what I was
Crossroads.
just about to say.
Lollipop ladies at
Crossroads.
Pelican Crossing.
Yes, that's what
Why
I
are
don't
you
get.
there? Press the button, it goes red, and then she walks into the middle of the road with a stop. I go, I know!
I'll give you a clue. You get to chat a lot if you do this job.
Is it hairdressing?
That's the right answer.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Yes, Britain's happiest profession is hairdressing. If you want to know the difference between a hairdresser and a barber is a slightly older gay man from Cyprus. Most Brits have a hobby they're too embarrassed to tell their friends about. True or false?
It's only posh people who have hobbies, really, isn't it?
It must be train spotting has got to be the most embarrassing, hasn't it? You see, you do always feel a bit superior to those people who are train spotting. I get the train at Stockport and there's a bloke spotting trains and I'm like, well, I can do that, mate. That's a piece of piss. Why don't you go out to sea and try and spot them? You know, challenge yourself. I mean, that's the real skill.
There are that many different kinds of trains.
It's about the numbers on the trains as opposed to the model.
So they look for numbers?
Yeah.
Or if they've got a big face on the front, you can tell if it's Thomas or Edward or Gordon.
Do you know what my hobby is?
What's your hobby, Sean?
I like going up to people who've got those Sanskrit tattoos and get my Sanskrit English dictionary out. So, what do you think that says? It says, David. No, it doesn't. It says garage. Is it the trial of Michael Jackson's doctor? Dr. Murray is accused of being responsible for Michael Jackson's death, which is odd, really, considering that Michael Jackson, apparently, in his house, he had 4 gallons of anaesthetic just stored in his house of serious, you know, like medical anaesthetic, which is probably enough to put Louis Spence to sleep.
That's a lot. That's a lot. They're just trying to work out whether he killed him. And I was thinking, I can't think of a time in the last few years when Michael Jackson was alive and people went, oh, it's Michael Jackson, he looks well.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, he hasn't looked himself since 1984.
How do you tell a man he's ill when you go, you're right, Michael, you're looking a bit pale? He goes, thank you.
Well, I was thinking, before he died, his whole life must have flashed before his eyes. And his last thoughts must be, who's that little black kid singing my song?
The doctor was getting paid $100 a week, though, wasn't he? Yeah. And I was thinking, Michael Jackson's a weirdo, isn't he? Right? So if Michael Jackson was paying me $100 a week, I'd inject him with Haribo if he asked me to.
Yes. But if he's getting that much, if he was getting that much, surely there'd be an incentive to keep him alive.
Yeah. Well, he does go on a bit, though, doesn't he?
People suspect foul play. The family suspect foul play, and it just, you know...
Well, there was a delay, wasn't there, in resuscitation, giving him the kiss of life, because it took them ages to find an 8-year-old paramedic.
I love it. I suppose that's it, because you have to hold the nose while you breathe into the mouth, don't you? So that, obviously you don't want... Right, okay, well... Easy. Let's have a look and see whether the trial of Michael Jackson's doctor is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the long-awaited trial of Michael Jackson's doctor started this week. Make no mistake, Jackson's name is going to be dragged through the mud at this trial, but when all is said and done, Michael Jackson will remain my absolute favourite self-mutilating, mentally unstable, virtually bankrupt, suspected paedophile junkie of all time. OK, Johnstein, what do you think the nation should be talking about this week?
The Eurozone bailout?
The Eurozone bailout has been in the news a lot.
Yeah, I've been trying to sort of simplify it in my head, and the way I've worked it out is the cold countries are bailing out the hot countries. That's basically it.
That's exactly it. Why has no one made that point before?
I feel sorry for Greece now. There must be a Greek finance minister whose job now must just... He's just given up.
Flippers.
Surely. He's just adding up. It'd be like when a relationship is clearly going to end and you know you're going to get dumped, so you just spend all your time doing things to prepare for being on your own. Like, if you said to the Greek finance minister, what's your sort of average day now? He's go, well, I have a tub of Haagen-Dazs for breakfast. But you spend the rest of the morning watching YouTube videos of cats and dogs sleeping on each other. Send an email at lunchtime, is it fixed? No, and then just cry and sleep.
I just think about that nobody but you ever prepares for being alone. You've been preparing for a long time.
Yeah, I've been preparing for it my whole damn life.
It's Greece's fault. It's Greece's fault. It's their fault they're in the situation. They borrowed too much money, and what do they produce? They produce flip-flops and ouzo. Which is a drink nobody wants. Nobody wants ouzo. If somebody comes back from Greece, then nobody brings a bottle of ouzo, unless you've got slugs in your garden. Even Sean Ryder won't drink it. That's disgusting. Who drinks something that sounds like a plasterer's nickname? Oi, ouzo! And also, they smash all the plates at the end of the meal. No wonder they're bankrupt. What the bloody Greeks, they need some fairy liquid and do some washing up. Yes.
What was your... If you had to narrow down, like, one favourite moment from the Labour Party conference, Sean? Or maybe...
The bits. I tape it and watch it back again. And I've got on replay Ed Miliband's mouth. going... It does something, it's weirder than Rio Ferdinand's mouth. It's like his mouth's doing some kind of breakdance move. He says something like, prosperity, and his mouth goes...
Okay, let's have a look at him. Let's have a look at him. Do you think he would benefit from your kind of... Because people think he's boring. Do you think maybe if he didn't do his shirt up properly, grew his hair out...
This is properly done. It's fashion.
Well, if you want to catch your death, it is.
That's a very old thing to say.
Catch your death. John was going to do that, but someone told him to put a T-shirt on.
Do you know how it was? Because it was down to there, and then someone, a member of production team...
Careful,
said, no.
ladies.
Careful.
Chicks dig a T-shirt, Ollie. That's all I'm saying. Chicks like a man who's warm.
Have you ever been lower than that?
Have I ever... Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I got
I didn't mean that, I meant the shirt.
it. Pays to advertise. I think I am showing quite a lot. I look like
You didn't get that waxed for nothing. You look like what, sorry?
Jordan. Kind of with slightly...
You look a bit like Jordan, yeah. You look like someone for whom the gender reassignment has gone brilliantly.
I think it's that footballer, Tevez. Am I saying his name right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the footballer, Tevez?
I really don't know anything about football, but I think
You don't need to say that twice.
He's really expensive, and he refused to go on in some big match. And there was some sort of row, and you saw him being like, well, I'm not going on. Which I kind of liked, the kind of thought of like an obnoxious, because I love an obnoxious pop star. You know, like
it's the
pop
sort of
stars
thing
that make people
Axl
wait.
Rose would do.
Yeah, I love that, like not going on yet.
Axl Rose shouldn't have to go on because he's not a footballer, so...
It's a good point, well made, Sarah. I can't argue with that.
If you're on £200,000 a week and your boss says, you won't do half hour for us, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't really go, no, I don't want to today. I'm not really asking. Can you go and definitely do... I don't see why he's still here. He's been in the country 4 years and he wants to leave. That's his big thing. He didn't want to play because I don't want to be in the country. I want to go home. I can't speak any English. I've been here 4 years. The only words he's got to learn is like kick, goal. Like the Spanish for goal is goal. The Spanish for football is football. Like, it's not like we're asking him to learn Sanskrit.
He also said it was a miscommunication, didn't he? He said it because what he actually said was, "OK, boss, where do you want me to play?" But because of his accent, it came out like, "I f***ing hate Man City. You can piss off, shove out your piece of shit." That's an accent thing.
Yeah.
It's just a dialect.
Well, because it's from the
What
Catalan
he actually
region.
said was, "Ke?"
Do we know why he didn't go up? Like, why he just refused? Was it just... Had he just realised that football's a bit Okay, thanks, love.
Just one like, yes. Finally, someone said it.
If you look at Tevez, though, he's a very unfortunate-looking chap, isn't he? He does. He looks like Shrek's ugly mate, doesn't he?
I refute that. Let's have a look. He's a great-looking guy. In fairness to him, that was a very sunny day. His flash is still strong. I like it. It's still strong.
Just as well he didn't go on, to be honest, because in that picture I can see he's already broken pretty much the rule of football. This is good, you see? I scored a goal!
He's attention seeking, isn't he? Let's face it, if you're gonna go to a football match and sit on the subs bench, you're probably gonna go on, let's face it, you've got to do that. And then he just says no. He's obviously an attention seeker.
You think he's an attention seeker?
Yeah.
He's obviously an attention seeker. It's the most attention-seeking sort of thing I've ever bloody seen. I hope you enjoyed those clips. If you want to watch full episodes of 8 out of 10 Cats, then you can on my YouTube channel. Just, search for it on YouTube and you'll find it, because it's there.